Hello and welcome to our first lightning course on roles and responsibilities in IT asset management, ITAM. Today we're going to be discussing the ITAM Program Lead role. This includes understanding some basics of how you would structure an ITAM program and what activities that this specific role is expected to perform. So you're likely noticing that we're using the term lead and not a manager or director. So that's only to highlight that in your specific organization, the role defining and running the program could be a manager grade or could be a director grade or a different grade. So regardless of that title or grade, the responsibilities of this role are really what we want to focus in on this video. At the basic level, the lead of the program is responsible for ensuring that the program is delivering against its chartered mandate for the organization. So when you set up an ITAM program as the program lead, you're going to work with the executive sponsors and the stakeholders of the program to define what the expectations are, as well as the measures and how you're defining success. This first step is critical, and without this, your program is going to be doomed to fail. So for example, if you set up a program and you deliver a new management capability that lets you generate license balances for Oracle or ELPs for Oracle, well, what do you think would happen if your executive sponsor was expecting something else? Maybe they're expecting cost control and management of M365 instances in the cloud, or a management of the mobile assets in the organization. That misalignment can be very costly. So therefore, in order to be successful as an ITAM program lead, you need to first define what that mission is, the charter, and what the expectation of success looks like, and make sure these are aligned with the executive sponsors and stakeholders. Best practice is also to understand and align with the larger organizational strategy and goals, line those with the ITAM program, and that will ensure sufficient support from all other areas of the organization. So before we get into the responsibilities of the lead, it's important to understand the difference between a project and a program. So a project is a structured set of activities that has a defined start and a defined end date, and it's designed to deliver a work product or an outcome, a deliverable, and that will add value to the organization. So a good example here would be the implementation of an ITAM repository like Flexera or Snow License Manager, just for example. So you'd have a definite start date and you would have a definite end date to a project like that. And by the end date, you would have a new operational capability that would exist in your organization. You would have a functional instance of that ITAM repository, Snow License Manager, for example. So on the other hand, a program may have a start or inception date, but there is no end. It should be viewed as a continual set of activities that deliver against that chartered mandate or the mission. So in other words, you might have several discrete projects running under the entire program, but ultimately that program is what coordinates all of these project activities. And indeed, the program lead ensures that the deliverables or the work products are adding value in a coordinated fashion to that organization. So the program should be viewed as an operational service. A lot of times we like to talk about ITAM as a service, and this is what we're talking about with the ITAM program. So aside from championing that program charter and the mandate, pushing that forward in the organization, the ITAM program lead is focused on potential problems, on escalations, and on removing roadblocks. So in fact, these topics are not something to shy away from. Best practice is you run towards these items as a program lead. You ensure that the steering committee, the governance body for the program, is educated and involved. If the ITAM program exists to create value, then the program lead's focus needs to be on removing any roadblocks that prevent this value creation. So to make sure that you're leveraging the steering committee and the governance body's executive support to make that happen, to remove those inhibitors to value creation. So what that means is that the ITAM program lead is going to proactively and periodically communicate targeted content and messaging to the steering board. So on risk management, on realizing optimization opportunity, and on overall program success against the goals involved in the charter. That also consists of escalating issues that would require executive support to ensure that they have the necessary visibility in the organization in order to get resolved. The ITAM program lead also helps facilitate and manage topics where a steering committee would vote. So for example, on program budget, program strategy or scope, following up on remediation actions or optimization opportunities, and indeed managing those escalations. So the ITAM program lead is a linchpin, and it connects that executive strategic layer of the organization with the operational layer that is going to be kind of the boots on the ground, the IT asset management team. This is where the program lead sits in this setup. The ITAM program lead ensures that the sponsor and the executive stakeholders are provided with actionable business intelligence in the form of trustworthy data from the program, and that the operational team is provided with a confirmed and mandated strategic direction from the top, from that executive steering committee. This concludes our first video in the Lightning course on ITAM roles and responsibilities. So we covered in this video the ITAM program lead and how this role is focused on delivering value based on the executive mandate of the organization for IT asset management. In the next video, we're going to cover the application owner role, and we'll discuss how ITAM needs to work with this and support this role in order to drive mutual success in the organization. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about this topic or any other ITAM topic in general, please visit our website at anglepoint.com.